What's up, Mr. Hutch here with your 4.OA.4 Operations and Algebra practice test on McCainFourth.com video. So this is your factors multiples test. So this is a big deal. You're going to have to slow down and really think about the difference between what's a factor, what's a multiple, things like that. During the test, I want you to be using the word wall to just help you think about these things. You know, factors are the numbers that multiply together to find that product. So when you're looking for factors, you're looking for what numbers could go in those spots. When we're doing multiples, multiples are counting by the number, in this case 9. Okay, prime numbers, look how small the word is compared to composite. So the smaller number, smaller word prime, is the one where we only have two factors, one and that number. And then composite is the longer word, which means we have more than two factors. Okay, so use those and think about those as you do your test. Okay, and then remembering when we're doing a factor rainbow, we're wondering, does 3 times something make 12? So we do this inverse operation and we do 12 divided by 3 to see if another number fits in there. So that's the why of why we're doing the division. All right, so on to your actual practice test video. I filled in some automatically because you can pause this video at any time to go ahead and make sure you have written what I have written, but I didn't want to waste your time watching me write it. So anyway, use your math notebook to help if needed, and here you are being smart watching the McCainFourth.com video. So here we go. What is the definition of multiples? For this test, if you want on that wall of fame, you better be underlining important info. So definition of multiples. Multiples are counting by the number. Okay? All right. And again, pause if you need to write that. What are the next? Circling next, because that's important. 3 multiples of the number 3. So we're starting with 3, and then we're sharing the next 3. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay? So, and I see it right here. So I'm going to circle that answer. 3, 6, 9, 12. All right, number 2. So these are sections, 1A, 1B. They sort of go together. 2A with 2B. Which number is a multiple of 8? Multiples are. Notice how I do that each time. Multiples are counting by the number 8. So we're wondering, how many times would we count by 8 to hopefully say one of these numbers? Okay, so the first one I'm testing is 45. So with our calculator, we're doing the inverse, 45 divided by 8, and it'll tell us the missing number, which is a decimal, so that means that one doesn't work. We cross it out. Now I'm going to replace this with this. 56 divided by 8 equals, there's my whole number, 7. Okay, so I found the right answer. My proof is either that 7 times 8 is 56, and those are the multiples, or I can show my division proof. Either way is fine. Okay? All right. So on to the next. What is the definition of factors? So we're in a new section here. So definition, factors, underlining important info. Factors are the numbers multiplied together to find a product. All right, 3B. So which number is a factor of 78? Factors are numbers that we multiply together to get 78. You can see the thinking that I'm doing so I don't make a silly mistake. Okay, so I'm wondering, does 10 work? Does 3? Does 4? I know 10 times something can't equal an 8 at the end, so that's gone. So it's either 3 or 4. So I'm going to do the inverse. Okay, 78 divided by 3, 78 divided by 4 to find the right one. Okay, and there's my whole number right there. 78 divided by 3 is 26. Okay, so this one works, and my proof is right here. 78 divided by 3 equals 26. Okay, and I can have it written there, or if I want to have it written here instead, I can. Okay? All right. Is 5 prime or composite? The number 5 prime or composite? Show factor rainbow and explain. So we have 3 steps of things that we need to do for this. So the first 2 factors of any number are 1 and that number. And then we test. Is 2 a factor, a number that can be multiplied together to make another number, to find a product? 2 times something? Nope. 3 times something? Nope. 4 times something? Nope. And there's 5. So I've tested everything in between. There's only 2 factors. So that tells me 5 is a prime number because it only has 2 factors, 1 and 5. Okay, and you could put a period here. I decided to add what they were. All right, on to the back. As we flip over, let's start the first part of your secret word. It's going to be broken up into 3 sections. So, your secret word. I am. I guess it's not a word, it's a phrase. I am. Okay, and I'll fill in the rest of it as the video continues. All right, draw a factor rainbow. Identify all factors of 40. When we see all factors, we do a factor rainbow. Okay, so we always start off with 1 and that number. Okay, now we're going to test everything in between to see what numbers can be multiplied together to make 40. So we're going to test 2. We're wondering, does 2 times something equal 40? Okay, just so you can see the visual. Okay, if I don't know the answer, I can test it by doing the inverse. 40 divided by 2. And when you do that, you can see it equals 20. So 2 times 20 are factors. And then after 2, we always test the next one. We're testing 3. Does 3 times something equal 40? Or 40 divided by 3? Nope, that's a decimal. Okay, so that one doesn't work. So now we're going to test 4. So we do 40 divided by 4 equals 10. So 4 times 10. Notice how we're getting closer to the middle. We're at 4 to 10, so not too many in between. We need a test now. So we know 5 will work. 5 times 8 is 40. We're getting even closer to the middle. All we have is 6 and 7 to test. So 40 divided by 6, nope. 40 divided by 7, nope. So we are done because my next one to test is 8 and I already have it. Okay. So now which shows all factors of 40? I just need to find the one that matches. So 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 8, 10, 20, 40. Oh, this one doesn't have an 8, so that's wrong. This one's wrong. These are multiples of 10, so this has to be it. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20, 40. So there's our answer. All right, right here, when you have to find all the factors, what should you draw? A factor rainbow. What are the first 2 factors of any number? 1 and that number. You can pause if you need to write that. All right, draw a factor rainbow, all factors of 24. So the same thing. First 2 factors of any number are 1 and that number. Okay, so now we're going to test everything in between until we reach the middle or have tested all the numbers. Okay, so after 1, we test 2. So again, we're wondering 2 times what equals 24? Okay, or if you don't know, you can test it by doing the inverse, 24 divided by 2, and it shows 12. So 2 times 12. Okay, after 2, we test 3, and I'm pretty sure tree times something is dentifloor 24. Okay, and the tree's heavy, so tree times skate, dentifloor 24. Okay, of course you could do 24 divided by 3 to find the missing number. After 3, look, we're getting closer together. We test 4. So does door times something equal dentifloor 24? If you're not sure, you do 24 divided by 4, and you can see door times chicks. equals dentifloor 24. Look how close we're getting to the center. The only number in between is a 5, and 5 times something can't equal 24. So we are done. Okay, on to the next. Which number is a factor of 18 but not a multiple of 6? You need to ignore the multiple part first. We're just doing factor of 18. Okay, we did this one in class, so I'm going to go ahead and just quickly show what we did in class. So there's what we do to think about factors. We wonder which one works. In class, we put tick marks by those ones that possibly work, and we cross that one out. Then we're ignoring this, and we're just dealing with multiples or counting by the number 6. So we have 6, 12, ... Okay, and since we want the one that's not in this list, we cross it out and we find the one that's not, that is a factor of 18 but not a multiple of 6, and you can see that's what we identified in class. Over to this new one, factor of 10 but not a multiple of 5. So factors are the numbers we multiply together to get 10. So we need to find which ones are factors, could go in these spots. So does 10 times something work? Yes. 10 times 1 is 10, or we could do the division to check. 7 times something equals 10? No. Does 2 times something equal 10? Yes. Okay? So 2 times 5, so we'll put our tick mark. Again, you could also test 10 divided by 2, and it'll tell you if it works. Okay? All right, so now that I have 2 choices, I need to find the one that's not a multiple of 5. So we're ignoring this, and we're going to list the multiples of 5, which are 5, 10, ... Okay? Because we want the one that's not a multiple of 5, we cross it off and pick the one that's not on this list, okay? Which is right here. Okay? All right, and then your very last one is for, ooh, let's do our secret word right now. I am, because you are, smart. Your secret phrase. Okay, nice job. You guys are very smart. I'm very proud of you. Okay, good hard workers. All right, is for prime or composite, factor, show factor rainbow, and explain. Again, we have 1, 2, 3 tasks. Make sure you identify them. So we're going to do our factor rainbow, 1 and that number, and then we test, after 1 we test 2, and we know 2 times 2 works, and right away there's more than 2 factors, so that means it's the bigger word here, composite. So pause if you need to write this. 4 is a composite number because it has more than 2 factors. And that's it, kiddos. Good luck tomorrow.